Hello and welcome everybody to episode number 6, or shall I say for my nerd friends out there, episode number Sith. I'm probably going to get a strike on this channel and get this video taken down because of what this content is going to be, but hey, it's my first one, I got room to spare, let's go with it. This next episode, we're going to start going into different themes of tattoos that are out there, and in my research, and since I myself am also a fan, I have found that there's an entire cult around Star Wars tattoos. So why not this week have this episode be all about it, right? I mean, come on folks, what's more cool than Star Wars? If you've never seen the original, don't call yourself a fan of the new one until you go and see the original 3, because until then, you're not a fan. Trust me. Getting around to it, now that we've gotten through the basics of the tattooed world, let's delve a little deeper into this twisted world of pretend, shall we? Through looking online for everything, you'll see at the top of the video here, instead of my 3 choices for the hottest tattooed celebrity, the tattoo win, and the worst tattoo trend for this week, I have 3 of the best examples of Star Wars tattoos right above my head up there. You see them? Now, I did mention in last week's video that stormtrooper tattoos were one of the biggest growing trends. So, of course, there's one up there. There's a picture also of an Ewok tattoo, which I find the Ewoks adorable, so I had to have one up there, of course. So those are the 3 best examples that I had found. You let me know if you think differently. We all know that the Star Wars franchise really got its start in the 70s, around the late 70s. But the first tattoos that started showing up actually didn't make any kind of mark on the world until about 1997. I know, it's kind of hard to believe. It was hard for me to believe that as well. That's why I went on to do several different searches and several different things, and every answer I came up with it was 1997, and it was actually written about in an article by Shane Turgian, which you can find that article on StarWars.com. You heard me right, folks. StarWars.com. It's an actual thing. I spent a good hour searching around on that site too, and it's pretty in-depth. Very in-depth. While tattoos in the 70s were typically associated with men in the military, Vikings, prison inmates, or prostitutes, nice mix, huh? I found the interesting article of the Star Wars tattoos by Shane. He also worked very closely with Steve Sweettree, I think it is. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I am so very sorry. I hope you never see this video. And Mary Franklin, both who work for Lucasfilms. So I'd say that's a pretty close connection to the entire Star Wars franchise. Wouldn't you agree? Together they created an amazing collection of Star Wars tattoos, an entire convention around the artwork itself, and competition for the best Star Wars tattoo at the convention. I think that's pretty awesome. Shane has also written 2 books, including several pictures of the artwork done and the best that he's seen from around the world since 1997. So And those books are Force in the Flesh, Star Wars Inspired Body Art, Volumes 1 and 2. So please, go check them out, go give them a look. We're all anxiously awaiting the release of Star Wars The Last Jedi, which is to be in theaters December 15th of this year. So I figured this would be the best time for the Sith episode. I'm so funny, really. No. Star Wars is becoming huge, especially now with the advent of social media and the new generation of nerds that are following in after the nerds of the 70s, after the nerds of the 80s, and after the nerds of the 90s. It's becoming a very big thing. Sci-fi is really starting to come back, and I'm really happy about that. It's really, really a great thing for me, because that means in the future there's definitely going to be more going on. I'm hoping that the continuation of this Star Wars franchise does not get let down. So far, J.J. Abrams has done a good job. He did a great job with Star Trek. Now he's on Star Wars. So, as George Takei would say, a mixing of the worlds is a good thing. It's a good thing. George Takei, the original cast member for Star Trek, and he's a huge fan of Star Wars. Go figure. You would think that there would be some sort of dislike, but he still loves it. Isn't that awesome? As I said, hopefully this continuation of the series is going to make it continue to grow and continue to get people interested again in science. Yes, some of it is indeed fictional that will never ever happen. However, some technology between Star Trek and Star Wars is starting to come to life. We are in a generation now where we actually have holograms. Actual holograms. I mean, granted, they're very low quality in some cases, but we have holograms today, people. That was something that was predicted in Star Trek and Star Wars. Granted, the first Star Trek series did not have the holodeck as the Next Generation did, but Star Wars with Princess Leia, love you, Carrie Fisher, you are going to be deeply missed. There were holograms in that, and now all of a sudden there's holograms today. So, let's see what other stuff kind of pops up. I mean, the world of robotics is starting to become really big as technology advances. I mean, I saw an article about a week ago about a man who had actually converted a 3D printer to be the first robot tattoo artist. I don't know if I would ever actually have the guts to sit there and go through that. But hey, it's technology, and it's getting people interested in building stuff with their hands and experimenting like with science. So it's getting people to think again. And we went through a few years of brain dead, I guess you can call it. The little brain dead generation there, where we didn't think at all. We all wanted the brainless easy jobs. We wanted computers to do everything for us, and little Terminator reference with this, Skynet. Not a good thing. But now we're starting to get back to using our brains. We're starting to think again. We're starting to experiment with different things. We're actually using our hands again. It's a major thing. And the fact that Star Wars being reborn and revitalized and continued on is what's actually starting to help this on even more. That's incredible. And that shows how much that science fiction movies and the science fiction TV shows and the books, the graphic novels, the comics, and I'm speaking the strictly science fiction, like Star Wars, like Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Stargate, Firefly. Why did that show have to be canceled? It was so good. Anyway, shows like that are getting people to start thinking again. That's really awesome in my book. And for that, as Shane went on in his article on StarWars.com, again, go check this site out. Go find his article on there, along with Steve Sansweetri and Mary Franklin. There are so many artists on there as well who have fully embraced the Star Wars community and just loved every second of every piece of artwork they have done on somebody, which is absolutely amazing. Shane's first tattoo was actually a Star Wars related tattoo. It was the symbol for the X-Wings. So, there you go. I've rambled on a little bit much with this video. I'm gonna get down to this week. For hottest tattooed celebrity, she was one woman of controversy, given her relationship with her brother and her father at the time. Yikes. But she's still somewhat a woman of controversy today, between the issues she's had in her personal life and how she's had to basically get around being a celebrity and also being a mother of so many children. So this week, as if you couldn't guess just by those little hints there, this week's hottest tattooed celebrity is Angelina Jolie. The tattoo win. I love this, because I gave you an example of a very badly done portrait. So this week, I'm going to show you how a portrait should look like. So if you find yourself an artist who is incredibly talented and can nail a portrait, by all means go ahead and get that portrait done, because then that's what that portrait could look like. Not like the Freddie Mercury one. Wow, that was really, really bad. But this week it's really, really good. And of course, me being me, and with October approaching, I had to use a portrait of Christopher Lloyd's version of Uncle Fester. So for that portrait, that is a properly done portrait. And you're going to see the pictures at the end of the video. And for the worst tattoo trend, to put it simply for this week, it was the pumpkin spice latte of the 1990s. The tramp stamp. That is the worst trend for this week. Some of you may wonder, do I myself have a tramp stamp? No, I do not. The only way I would get a tramp stamp is if it was part of a mural for my whole back. So this way it's not a tramp stamp, it's actually part of everything. Which I'm actually thinking of maybe doing an Alice in Wonderland theme for my back. You know, the original book, the Disney movie, and then the new movie with Johnny Depp. We'll see how that goes. I don't know how well it's gonna work, but we shall see. I don't really have much for this episode. I just wanted to get an episode out to you guys, and I don't want to keep you hanging on every word and bore you to death. Not to mention talking all day at work. I am starting to get a little hoarse. So I'm not gonna push it. This video I'm gonna keep nice and short for you guys. If you like it, please remember, hit the like button, leave a comment down below in the comment section. Please subscribe, hit that bell so that you get alerts for every time that I upload something. I need to give a big shout out to Salrax, who made the logo for the show. For those of you just joining in, he is an amazing graphics arts beast. So if you have anything that you need, please go see him. You can find him on Twitter at Salrax_gaming. So please go find him. Another big shout out here to Canadian Basement with his gaming channel right now. He's in a few different games. He's playing Destiny 2 with our friend Mike the Foulmouth Bobbit, who has his own podcast, the Swamp Ass Podcast. Go check him out and give him a subscribe and a like. As well as D Moon, who is also having some gaming streaming on his channel. Please go like him and subscribe to him as well. He's also playing GTA 5 with our other friend Sir Cardinal, who streams hockey games for, I believe, the PS3, or it could be the PS4. I'm not entirely sure which one he said it was, but he has his own gaming going on that channel, so please go check him out. Subscribe to him, give him a like. And he has also created an amazing little event for everybody in the YouTube community, and it's called Canadian Basement Wrestling, or CBW. So please go check out Canadian Basement for the past videos of Canadian Basement Wrestling. You will see myself there, you will see him there, you will see Bobbit, you'll see D Moon, you'll see Sir Cardinal, you'll see Foulmouth Ken and Filthy Mouth Gamer from the Foulmouth Network. Please go give them a like and a subscribe as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's pretty much it for tonight. Oh, one more thing. I do have a friend who is on Twitter, but he does not have a YouTube site just as yet, but he does have a very interesting little website. Please go follow my friend Seth Brooks and go check out his website of dementeddiaries.com. It's all about horror movies and horror comics and horror books, everything horror, thriller. If it scares you, he's got it on his site, so please go give him a check out. And for those of you who have not heard the news, unfortunately, Mr. Hugh Hefner has passed away. He will be missed, sorely missed. He led a great life. Hopefully his passing was as peaceful as it could be for a heart attack at home, but hopefully he didn't suffer too much. For that, folks, this is good night. The Tattooed Mistress saying good night to you all. I shall see you next week, hopefully with something different. Gonna be continuing on with the separate themes that there are for tattoos in the tattoo world, and I think with next month being October, well, next week being October, I might have to fit 2 themes into one show for you people. I think I might have to. And there might be a change with the hair. I mean, other than the bangs, which... Hi! Surprise! That's new. There might be a change with the hair as well, because of October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We may see a little pink go in the hair again. I don't know. We'll see what happens. You guys have a nice night. I shall see you again soon.